I go.
Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my brother from the same mother, my brother Alex. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, we're doing a show. You might want to put the phone
Yeah,
down.
I know. I forgot to put it on.
Hey, we're doing a show. How about you put the phone down and talk to the people?
Well, the people will get to hear.
Talk to the people.
All right, let's get the show started. I'm really,
You're really what?
Nothing.
Surely you're not tired. You
No,
haven't done
I'm
anything.
not tired.
Unlike me, who was hard at work. So I had a water heater issue.
Uh-oh.
And I decided I was going to fix it. Right? I've had a water heater issue for like a year. The pilot would just would knock off every now and then. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to fix this. So I started, I did what any smart 2019...
Aren't you an accountant?
Yeah. I do what any smart 2019 man does. I start Googling it, right? And YouTubing it and whatnot. And I figure out that it's the thermocouple, right? Which you have no idea what that is.
Sure, it's a couple that holds...
Thermos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what it was. So I started working on it, and, I was fixing, I was taking the manifold off, all these cool stuff. And I took a picture of it because I saw a path to getting the water heater to work.
All right.
So I'm like, I took a picture because, and again, being a 2019 man, I'm thinking, once I get this fixed, I'm going to post it on Instagram for everyone to know how cool I am that I got some shit done. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post a picture to Instagram anyway, and I'm going to post it as a failure because we don't post enough of our failures out there.
Yeah?
There's nothing wrong with failing.
Right.
I tried. I got it replaced. It's a different problem. I need a new water heater, basically. So I didn't solve the problem, but I was able to replace the thermocouple. So did I get the water heater to work? No, I failed. But I tried something very outside the box. We're talking about gas and stuff. I probably could have blown myself up as well. Yeah. But I failed. But I'm going to post it anyway because I think it was still, I don't know. It's a cool endeavor.
I would have called the handyman with the quickness.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd have been speed dialing the plumber.
I'll call a handyman to come change a light bulb on my house. I'm not doing nothing that's electrical, fire, gas. Keep me out of that.
I'm gutsy. I'll try it. But I will look at several YouTube videos or Google articles before I actually do it because the minute they say, hey, this should be done by a professional, like I'm out.
Yeah.
Unless it involves adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing, I'm out. That's it.
Yes.
You know what the best part was? So the plumber came over and he was talking about it. He goes, you got really lucky. He goes, you could have blown the place up with gas and stuff because you tried to fire it back up. I goes, yeah. I was super careful. I never tried to do anything with the gas on until everything was back on exactly the way it was before. I didn't bring a lighter up here to try to get it to light. I didn't try anything stupid. I just tried very simple stuff. He goes, oh, you must be an engineer. I go, no, I'm not smart. I'm just not dumb either. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Between.
That's right, which I guess is enough to still be alive.
True.
Speaking of home improvement projects, the baseball season's over. And there are some guys that now have time to do some home improvement projects. Specifically, there are 20 teams with 25 players on every team,
right?
Managers and coaches that have time to do home improvement projects. The Major League season's over. We have our field of 5 in each league.
Right.
And let's start with the American League. Best record in the American League, best record in baseball, the Houston Astros. The Yankees won the East. The Minnesota Twins won the Central. And the 2 wild cards are Tampa Bay and Oakland. They will play each other in a 1-game playoff to see who gets to play the Astros in the ALDS. And then the Yankees and the Twins will collide in their ALDS. On the National League side, you have the Braves. Well, let's start with the best record in the National League, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Second best record is the Atlanta Braves, who won the East. The St. Louis Cardinals officially clinched the Central on the last day of the season. And your wild cards are the Milwaukee Brewers, who will be at the Washington Nationals for the wild card game to determine who will play the Dodgers in the ALDS. The Braves and the Cardinals will play each other. So, any surprises? I mean, obviously we've known for a while, but when you stop and kind of look at the season as a whole, what are your big surprises from the 2019 season?
Oh, from the whole season? Mm-hmm. Like everything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're focused a little bit on the playoffs, but was there anything else that really shocked you?
Yeah, how much all the talk about the baseballs being juiced and all the home runs being hit, but yet Verlander and Garrett Cole have been like the best pitchers in the majors, and they've been able to not get, home runs hit on them, right? Yeah. They've been able to, so that's kind of like odd maybe, or...
Well, see,
and considering the ballpark that they play in too.
Here's the thing. I think the whole baseball thing is bullshit.
The baseball being juiced?
Yes. I think it's BS. Because while we have had a record number of home runs, we've also had a record number of strikeouts this year. Mm. So that tells me not only chicks dig the long ball, but apparently MLB players dig the long ball. Yeah. They're swinging for the fences. And, with all this focus on exit velocity and launch angle and stuff, I think people are they're trying to hit more home runs, and they're striking out. They're trying and they're succeeding at hitting more home runs, but on the flip side, batting averages are down, strikeouts are up.
The one takeaway from that is when the Yankees and the Red Sox played, where did they play? Japan?
London.
Yeah, in London. Usually you don't see that outburst of runs being scored like that, kind of like in football where you don't see when they go travel and play in London. It's not a very high-scoring game. They had a pretty high-scoring game. So
the entire series.
Yeah, the entire series, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I hope the balls are not juiced, but who knows? They might be.
I'll tell you what was...
Because this season, it's been brought up a lot.
It has.
More so than in the past few seasons. But
the biggest surprise to me... Actually, I have two. The biggest surprise, I went back and I looked. The Twins won 23 more games this year than last year. They went from winning 78 games to winning 101 games. That is an incredible turnaround.
Yeah.
And I know, look, before the season started, we were both, I won't say high on them, but we thought that they may win the division from the Indians, and they did.
Yeah.
But I think both of us kind of expected the Indians to come back a little bit and them to come up, and maybe that's how it would happen. We didn't expect a 20... Look, the Indians actually won 2 more games this year than last year. They won 91 last year, 93 this year. They went from winning the division by winning the division by 13 to losing it by 8. So really just quite incredible turnaround. And then the other surprise, Pete Alonso. I mean, I thought the kid was good. I thought he was going to hit quite a few home runs. Yeah. I thought if he played every day and stayed healthy, he'd hit 30. 53. Broke the record. And if you really stop and think about it, really had a fantastic season. 53 home runs, a new rookie record. First rookie to lead the major leagues in home runs. Won the home run derby. I mean, that to me... It's
going to win Rookie of the Year.
It's going to win Rookie of the Year, but, that's not surprising because someone wins the Rookie of the Year every year.
No. True.
But really just an amazing season by the guy. I think as Mets fans, you should be encouraged by what you see going forward for this team because, they won 86 games. I had them at 81. 5 games over that I think is pretty good. I don't know that they can add 23 wins next year. I don't think that happens all the time. But, it looks good for the future.
Yeah, sure does.
What do you think about the playoffs now? Well, let's go back and talk about how we had the divisions and wild cards shaping up.
Well, let's see. You
had everything right.
Had everything right. Except for, actually, you did. You had everything right except for your second wild card. That's fucking amazing.
Wow. 4 out of the 5 baseball in the American League, right?
You had, in the American League, you had the Yankees,
easy.
You had the Twins, you had the Astros, you had Tampa Bay, and you had the Red Sox. Oakland got the second wild card in that.
Wow.
I had the Yankees, the Indians, the Astros, and the Angels. The Angels.
That's right, because you refused to do the second wild card.
Yes, I can do without the second wild card.
So basically, you suck.
That's pretty good.
All right, let's go to National League.
Let's see. In the East, you had the Phillies. In the Central, the Brewers. In the West, the Rockies. And your 2 wild cards, the Nationals and the Padres.
So I just missed it, right?
Barely.
I almost got the whole thing right.
Exact polar opposite.
Yes. I'm an American League guru, not a National League guru, apparently. How about you?
In the National League, I had the Nationals winning the East, the Cardinals the Central, the Rockies the West, the Brewers winning the wild card.
So you kind of half and half.
Yeah.
Oh, and the over-under that we did was on the Royals, right?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, shit.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. What was the number?
The number was 58.
And
I selected under.
I had
over.
59 and 100.
59? Wow.
Winner, chicken dinner. You need to start putting check marks by the stuff I got right, which is
everything.
A lot of check marks. Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. 58 was the number, and it ended up being 59. You know what's amazing when you look at the standings? Baseball is the opposite of football, right? In football, everyone has a chance every year. Because of the salary cap, it's harder to build a team, plus the injuries, right? Baseball is becoming really divergent, the haves and the have-nots, right?
Yeah.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with 100 wins.
Wow.
In baseball this year. I'm talking both leagues. 2 teams with 97 wins. A wild card had 97 wins. All
the
three
Nationals?
No, the A's. All 3 division winners in the American League, 100 wins.
Damn.
On the flip side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 teams with 100 losses. The Detroit Tigers had 114 losses this year.
Wow.
There are 2 teams in the Central with 100 losses. If the Royals and the Tigers improve by 23 games like the Twins do, they still lose the division by a shit ton next year if the Twins and the Indians do the same thing. So it is really becoming the haves and the have-nots.
Damn.
Isn't that something?
Talk about no parity.
No, yeah, like a parity, right?
Jeez.
It's amazing. And the Astros would have been in a tight division if they didn't win 107 games. But most divisions were over a long time ago. Only one division made it down to the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Everything else was over.
And that was a 3-team race for the most part.
Now, we've already heard that Joe Madden has resigned from the Cubs.
He resigned?
Is
that what they're saying?
I think that's the official line, is resignation. Where do they go from here?
Who?
Well, the Cubs. The Cubs, a couple of years ago when the Cubs won the World Series, it looked like they were going to build a dynasty. They had a young team. They just won the World Series. Looked like they were going places. Now what?
Fuck if I know. I don't know. It's not looking good on the south side or north side, whatever they are.
Are they the north side?
I don't know.
They're the north side.
Are they?
The White Sox are the south side.
Well, either way.
Whatever side they're on, it's not the right side of the playoff hunt.
Well, they better start by getting themselves a manager.
Yeah, that's one place to start.
So.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's hard to build a dynasty in baseball. Although we're seeing the Yankees have been consistently good for a while. The Red Sox had a down year this year, but they've been consistently good. The Astros have been consistently good for several years. The Astros have been really good for a few years now.
Yeah, probably like the last 3 years.
Yeah, so it's...
Counting this one.
I guess it's doable. I guess it depends on your definition of dynasty, but...
I think you just got to keep retooling as you go, and that's what it seems like the Astros have done.
Well, and the Astros have a good farm system.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Retooling, like you got to just build up that farm system, consistently build up that farm system, so that when you get these players that ask for big contracts, they can be the team can afford to say, well, we're going to let you walk because we know we got this third baseman, starting pitcher, outfielder, whatever on the rise.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it also gives you more leverage come trade deadline time, right? That's how they did the Greinke deal, which was kind of a surprise to everyone.
Yeah, he almost pitched a no-hitter
a couple
weeks ago.
A week ago, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I think it was his last start of the season.
Yeah, it could have been.
So, who do you have at this point? Who do you have coming out of the American League? Who do you have coming out of the National League?
Like
your World Series.
Oh,
or do you want to predict the individual series?
No, we don't have to. I got the Astros and the Cardinals I got the Astros and the Cardinals.
Is that what you had preseason?
That's what I had preseason.
And you're sticking to it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I agree with you. I think the Astros are going to win the American League. I have a sneaking suspicion that the Braves are somehow going to come out of the National. I don't know why. I just have an uneasy feeling about the Dodgers. I think they had almost too much time of not pressing baseball, and it worries me that they may have lost their edge. I have nothing. I have nothing concrete to go on. I don't have any statistic. I don't have any interview soundbite. I have nothing. It's just a gut feeling that I feel like they may have just. They literally played 3 weeks of meaningless baseball.
Yeah, they still have a pretty stacked team, so it's hard to count them out. I would probably pick the Dodgers if I didn't, pick the Cardinals originally, but
I had the Rockies, so I can pick whoever I want now.
Yeah. But the Dodgers still have a squad, man. They got a 3-headed monster in that one, in the rotation. That fuck, all you need is 2. You got 2 good ones. You can make it pretty far. They got 3, and Kershaw's probably hasn't been their best one this season. It's actually been Buehler and Ryu.
Yeah, isn't it? And that's strange.
So on top of that, you add that lineup. And they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder, like this is the third time around, right? So, or it could work the exact opposite. They could feel the pressure to have to win, to feel like they have to win, right? Because they've lost the past 2 seasons and just completely fall on their face. So, I just think the Cardinals. The reason I'm picking the Cardinals is that. I don't know why I'm picking the Cardinals.
Well, you picked them preseason.
I don't know. Something about the Cardinals. I don't know.
They're just
their bullpen is not too. Or I can't remember. I don't fucking know. My mind drew a blank, so whatever.
You want to switch gears to football?
Yeah, sure. I'll probably do worse at football today.
Okay, so
because I didn't watch a single game yesterday.
Okay, so it got heated in here last week about Daniel Jones.
Oh,
now we have one more week of data in front of us.
But it was against the Redskins.
What do you think about Daniel Jones?
By the way, let's go back to baseball real quick.
Okay.
The Nationals are losing this game to the Brewers.
Well, yeah, because you picked the Brewers to win.
They're losing the game. They're making a mistake by pitching Scherzer.
Didn't Scherzer pitch this week, like late this week?
Well, he's been out. He's been injured for the most part, and he barely came back, right? And Strasburg, I think, should get the start.
I agree.
He's had the better season.
Yeah.
And in the past 30 days or a month, Strasburg
he's been lights out.
Fire.
Yeah. I agree.
And I was kind of wondering why the Nationals went that route. So
we're gonna give me a lot of praise for getting the American League just about spot on. But I will go ahead and take the L on my comment about the Brewers. Because I said the Brewers were toast like a month ago.
I think most of us did.
Right, and I think
I said that too.
I think I said it right before they lost Yelich. Then they lost Yelich, and I doubled down and said they're definitely done.
Yeah.
And man, they went on a tear that has been unbelievable. They've played great baseball since. And they're really the hottest team going into the playoffs, which is kind of scary for the Nationals.
Yeah.
And now that you mentioned the whole Scherzer thing, I didn't know that Scherzer was the starter. I think that's a bad move. I agree with you. They should have gone Strasburg.
Oh.
So, from one Washington team to another, kind of?
Yeah.
So last week, we talked about Daniel Jones, and it was Overreaction Monday. I was asking you if you were going to overreact, and you were like, no. Well, now we have another week of data to look at. What do we think about Daniel Jones now?
I mean, he played the Redskins.
So you're not giving him any credit.
He played against the Redskins. I mean, I don't know.
Here's what I saw, and
you don't want to know my real reaction, so I'm going to reserve my reaction.
I want your real reaction.
No, the people don't want to know. I really don't want to waste my
energy. The people do. The people love it when you get amped up.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm not in the amped up kind of mood today. I'm gonna play the humble route for the rest of my life.
I'm gonna see if I can push the right button. I'm just kidding. No, here's what I saw, and this is important. He won. There's something important about winning football games, even if it's against a crappy team. There's something important about winning football games. And this kid has now done it twice. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go on and win the whole thing, but it's setting the expectation of winning. It drives confidence in the rest of the team, which I think is good, right? Yeah. Sometimes you get a rookie quarterback in there, he takes his lumps, and he loses, and the team kind of loses faith in him, right? And so that's a very good thing. His stats this week were a little bit worse than last week, which, again, makes me a little nervous, but I also know I don't have Saquon Barkley. So teams are gonna play more balanced. When Barkley comes back, that may help him quite a bit, right? The running game helps the passing game. Passing game helps the running game. That's just kind of the way it works sometimes. The Packers, for years, have played great football without a great running game because of, they've had a decent running game because of what Aaron Rodgers can do. I think once Saquon Barkley comes back, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later, although I'm hearing 4 to 6 weeks, which is a long time, hopefully that will ease some of the pressure off of Daniel Jones, and we'll start to see him play better. The Redskins are not the best barometer. Even the Buccaneers are not the best barometer. But what is a good barometer? The guy wins football games. He's 1-2. Yesterday was dominant. It wasn't as much on his shoulders because the Giants pretty much had control of that game throughout. But the Tampa Bay win is a good win. He drove him down the field. There's good things coming. And again, as I see more and more of it, I become more and more comfortable with the fact that, yes, this is the franchise quarterback, and it's good to have him. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good sign. I still don't. I stand by my previous argument about drafting him 6th. I think you could have gotten him later on and gotten a better defensive player. But if he turns out to be a star, I kind of don't care. Quarterback is the most important thing, and if they overreach for him and he ends up being a superstar, I'm good with that.
No.
So at the end of the day, which I think has been your point as well. You if that's the guy, then you don't care if they pick him 6 or in the 6th round.
All right.
Right. Okay. Well, good. What else surprised you yesterday?
Probably the Bucks and the Raiders. The Bucks putting up 55 on the Rams.
Isn't that something?
In LA.
And
the Raiders. The Raiders winning on the road, putting up 40 on the Colts.
And that's a hard one, too, because it's a West Coast team going to the Eastern time zone. They're playing that game at basically 10 in the morning for them.
The Raiders don't go back to Oakland for another 6 weeks.
That's not a bad thing. Have you been to Oakland?
No. But I'm just saying, like, that's a heck of a
road trip. And obviously they go back during the week, but it's a lot of travel every week in a row.
I don't know. They got like a game in London, and then they go back on the road. It's just on the road, and then they got a bye in between there somewhere, and so.
Wow, that's a long time.
So I mean, that's a pretty impressive win by them.
What kind of odds would I have had to have given you before the game if I said Tampa Bay is going to beat the Rams?
I need 10 points.
10 points. What if I'd have said Tampa Bay is going to beat the Rams in LA?
I would have said no.
How many points would I have to give you then?
17.
And how about I tell you, okay, I'll play a little teaser with you. I'll give you 14 points. I'll give the Rams 14 points. What would you have said to me then? I'll take Tampa Bay minus 14.
I would say you're crazy.
So give me that money. How about you pay me right now? I don't want to wait till Monday.
That's insane.
But that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Tampa Bay, they beat the Rams. They beat the Rams in LA, and they beat them by 15. Just shocking.
Yeah.
Absolutely the most shocking result this season to me.
Especially how they lost last week, right? Very last minute. That kind of could derail a team, that early in the season. Yeah. I mean, to bounce back like that, that's pretty impressive.
That tells me that the Giants have a far superior defense than the Rams. Because they only gave up, 28 or whatever?
The Rams look pretty bad the past 2 weeks.
The Rams have just looked kind of, they look...
hungover?
Yeah, maybe that's the right word. But because they look good enough, but they don't look like a team that's really going to take over the West.
Yeah. Well,
quite frankly, the best division in football right now is the NFC North. And it's a bit of it's kind of hard to see what's going on there, right? You got the Packers, who lost to the Eagles, and then you got the Vikings and the Bears. You can't really make heads or tails out of either one of them. And the Lions are decent.
Yeah, the Vikings seem to be in trouble to me, though. There's a lot of talking now going on in the locker room, and you're paying Kirk Cousins $80-something million.
To get you 6 points?
Yeah.
I know the Bears' defense is good, but it ain't that good.
I mean, again, you're paying this guy to move the chains.
Yeah, it's not happening.
He should be able to. I mean, they just haven't looked impressive. I mean, they looked impressive against the Raiders last week, but then they lost to the Packers the week before. Yeah. So,
and their offense looked terrible yesterday.
It looks bad.
And the Bears have a great defense, but look, it took the last-second field goal to beat Denver.
Yeah.
Now Trubisky's down, but Chase Daniels,
that might be good for them.
Yeah, it might be good for their offense. It's a tough road for them. They do not look like a team that strikes fear in anyone. And the Lions are 2-0-1. They tied against Arizona of all teams, who looks terrible, but no, they're winning the games they're supposed to win. They lost on a last-second drive to the Chiefs, who everyone thinks the Chiefs are the cat's meow. They look decent. The Packers are, hard to figure out the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the season so far, I know it's only 4 games. We got a bunch of 2-2 teams, and
everybody 2-2.
The Patriots and the Chiefs looking like, but even the Patriots struggled yesterday. And the Chiefs look like they struggled, but they also found a different way to beat you. Like Mahomes didn't have a passing touchdown. They ran the ball pretty well. So that
was impressive.
That's something else to watch out for.
Really, at this point, the Chiefs and the Patriots look like the class of the NFL to me.
Yeah.
The fact that the Patriots struggled to win yesterday in Buffalo doesn't surprise me. They go out to Buffalo and they lay an egg every now and then. It seems like they never really do great in Buffalo. So that doesn't surprise me. And their defense is still really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, 2-2 puts you at the top of the AFC North. 2-2 puts you at the top of the AFC South. It also puts you at the very bottom of the AFC South because all 4 teams are 2-2.
Damn. You know what else I was impressed with? The Saints. I'm impressed with the Saints. They went to where did they go? They went to Seattle and won last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a tough matchup with, on prime time against the Cowboys, who really haven't beaten a good team, but they're a good team. Yeah. And you win the game without scoring a touchdown. That's impressive.
Their defense really showed out last night.
Yeah,
because Dak Prescott had no time to do anything. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when you look at the if you look at the stats for that game, you think the Cowboys got shut out. I mean, They've got 45 yards rushing.
Wow.
I mean, it absolutely just the defense won that game.
Yeah.
And they won it at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely dominated an offensive line that
is good.
Is really good. We talk about it as being one of the best in the NFL. Not last night.
Yeah.
I mean, they got absolutely dominated.
And the Cowboys better hope Tyron Smith is not hurt too bad, because he got injured last night. He's a big part of that offensive line. So,
you know who's really disappointing to me? The Texans. The Texans are the best 2-2 team in the league. Out of all the teams that are 2-2, when you look at talent, hang with me. When you look at talent, the Texans are the best 2-2 team in the league by far. The Texans are the worst 2-2 team. When you look at the play calling and how they play down to the level of their opponents, they're the worst 2-2 team in the league. I don't understand them at all. I have no idea what's going to happen next week, and I have no idea what's going to happen the week after that. I do not understand the Texans at all, because I can honestly say they're the best 2-2 team in the league, and I can honestly say they're the worst 2-2 team in the league.
Yeah, that's all Bill O'Brien. I think he's
history.
Yeah.
Unless they make a deep run in the playoffs, and by deep run in the playoffs I mean make it to the Super Bowl, he's gone. He's got to be gone. The play calling is just ridiculous. What DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league. Listen to me. The best receiver in the league. Listen to me again. DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the league. I want him catching footballs, not throwing footballs. What is he doing?
I don't understand.
It's just it's a mess. And I hate to be one of those guys that talks about the play calling, but Bill O'Brien looks like, or whoever's calling the plays looks like the problem to me.
Yeah. I think you can make a case for about 3 to 5 head coaches that are on the hot seat right now. And I think it's real early. I didn't think we would get, to talk about that this early. Maybe more towards the end of the season or the middle of the season. But I mean, This is a quarter of the season. And I think there's a few head coaches that one can make the case, or an owner can make the case as to why he's thinking.
Let's think about this. Let's go through it and see, just for grins. In the AFC East, you got the Patriots, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. I would say no one there, because the Jets and Dolphins, even though they're winless, those are first-year coaches, right? Although that didn't save Brad Osmus with the Angels. But anyway,
you need to keep googly eyes too. I mean, it's just for
comedic value.
Exactly.
The AFC North. Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and the Steelers. Cincinnati won't fire their coach. They held on to Marvin Lewis for 15 years. It doesn't matter. This guy's a first-year guy. They're not going to get rid of him. The Steelers?
Yes.
I think they're in trouble.
Especially if they lose tonight.
It's going to get hot.
Yes.
The Ravens. The Ravens could be a place where they may be like, it's time for a change. If they finish 8, they're 2-2 right now. If they finish 8-8, I think they could make a move from there.
For the sake of Lamar Jackson,
I hope not.
No way, because I think what Harbaugh has been able to do with him, speaks volumes.
Okay, what about the new coach in Cleveland? Will they do a 1 year?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we only got one out of the Central.
Yes, North.
I'm sorry, out of the North. In the South, the Texans, the Colts, Jaguars, and Titans. The Texans, yes. We already talked about that one. The Colts, no.
No.
The Jaguars, yes. 2-2. Marone had them in the AFC Championship game. If they don't make the playoffs, they go 7-9. He's gone.
Yeah, but then you can make a case he didn't have his quarterback. He was playing with his backup.
Well, yeah, I guess I put him on the hot seat. You don't. So we'll say 2.5. The Titans. That's a new coach, isn't it?
Frank Reich. Last year was his first season.
They'll give him another year in Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree.
The AFC West. The Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos.
No, those guys are going nowhere.
No, I don't think. The NFC East. Dallas, Philadelphia, Giants, Redskins.
Redskins.
How does the
right?
Redskins guy still have a job?
I don't know. That besides having no players, they really have nobody. Name a player on their team besides Haskins and Keenum.
And Haskins was not good yesterday.
Yeah, but he wasn't good.
Okay, so we're up to 4. We'll say 3.5 because we got one that we disagree on.
Right.
The NFC North: Packers, Bears, Lions, Vikings. I can see the Vikings coach getting fired if they tank, but I don't think he's on the hot seat yet.
He's close. He's approaching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree.
NFC South: Saints, Buccaneers, Panthers, Falcons. Panthers and Falcons both have to be on the hot seat at this point. What are the Falcons doing?
The way the Panthers are playing, and now that this kid Allen is winning games for them, I'm gonna pull back on Rivera and say
They're still 2-2.
right. Yeah, if
they go 8-8, you don't think they're gonna whack Rivera?
Even with a
I think they
not
will.
100% healthy Cam Newton, that's probably the best they would do, 8-8. So Rivera's not going anywhere. Dan Quinn of the Falcons, yeah, definitely.
He's history.
They got
I think he's history, unless they make it to the Super Bowl. I think he's in the Bill O'Brien category.
Yeah, yeah. He should have been gone maybe last season.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about it. They're paying Matt Ryan all this money. They're paying Julio Jones all this money. They got Freeman, who I don't think he's one of the top 3 paid on the team, but he's still making money. Their defense they got a couple players that are getting paid, so yeah. There's
problems there. And then out west, you've got the Niners, who are 3-0, not going anywhere. The Seahawks, Pete Carroll's going to die there, I'm guessing. He's going to coach until he wants to. The Rams, and then the Cardinals, who have a first-year coach. So we're at 5.5.
5. Yeah, 5. Just say 5.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a lot.
For this early in the season, it's a lot. Damn. And I agree with you. I think this is a must-win game tonight for the Steelers. They have to. They got to do something to start turning things around. And, a win against a crappy team, whatever it takes at this point. But they need to do something.
I think the Bengals win.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to win, man.
They
played the Bills. Did they play the... Yeah, they played
the Bills tough.
Yeah, they played them tough last week. And, they really owe me a favor. So they need to look good tonight. No, I think they pull it out. I think they win. I just don't think Mason Rudolph is, the quarterback.
I think
he's not the quarterback, and I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
Really? Yeah. I disagree. I have hopes for Mason Rudolph. He's got, and I hate to put this on anyone, but he's got a little bit of that Brett Favre quality to him that I think is going to make him good. He's got confidence. He's willing to throw the ball. I feel like he's going to be good. I don't, again, what do we know, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he can be good. Now, is he going to be good this season? Probably not. He's still a rookie. He's got to learn. Those windows close a lot faster here than they do in the Big 12.
Yeah, to be fair to him, it is his first season. He kind of got thrown in there out of nowhere, right? Because nobody saw Big Ben getting hurt. And I think it's just going to be tough. Connor had a good year last year. He's not gonna. He's not nowhere close to even repeating that so far. And then teams are just gonna double up on Juju.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to find ways to make plays and put the ball where it needs to be.
It's tough. It's really tough. The NFC East looks like it'll be interesting as well because I don't think the Cowboys are a 12-4 team, which is what they're on pace for right now. I think the Eagles are better than they've played at 2-2. The Giants could maybe start to get in the conversation, so you got a good 3-team race there probably.
Yeah.
Washington is, they're going the Miami route. They're hoping for a high draft pick.
Seriously, who's gonna have the worst season?
Well, I think Miami. I don't think Miami's trying to get the number 1 pick. I think they're trying to be perfect, right? That's the tradition in Miami, the 1972 Dolphins. They're trying to be perfect. They're trying to have a perfect 0-16 season.
The first franchise to do that in football, probably.
To have both?
Yeah.
Well, since the only franchise to go perfect the other way is them, then yeah, they would be the only one to go perfect both ways.
Well, the Lions went perfect.
Right, but they've never won a Super Bowl. Well, is my point.
Right, yeah.
They've never gone perfect the winning way.
I hope the Lions win this year. Well, they can't go 16-0, right?
No,
damn. Okay, well, so never mind.
It would have been interesting though if they'd have gone 15-0-1 and then won the Super Bowl. 18-0-1.
Oh God. Yeah.
When in the event that a team goes.
Wait a second, they don't have a law. The Lions have a loss? Oh yeah, they lost yesterday.
In the event, do you think that we will no longer talk about the 72 Dolphins if someone goes 19-0 because they only went 17-0? It was a 14-week season back then.
Yeah, because I mean that's how records in history and sports works. You talk about,
but will we no longer talk about them even being a perfect team? We'll just be like, yeah, whatever. That was in the old days. That was back in the days of leather helmets.
They were the first, but they'll be the second perfect.
But they'll
be
number 2.
Right.
Like it won't be both teams were perfect. It'll be,
right.
The Patriots. Right? They had a chance a few years ago. The Patriots had a perfect season. Oh yeah, and the Dolphins had a winless season.
Yeah,
a season where they didn't lose.
Right, because they only won 17 if you count everything. If you count the Super Bowl and all that.
17, yeah. Whereas the Patriots would have won 19.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
No, I mean, I was a Miami Dolphin fan, I wouldn't be happy about that. Right, but I'm not. So.
What do you think about those guys getting together and popping the champagne every year when the last undefeated team goes down?
You only live once, and what best time to pop champagne as a 70-year-old guy? I mean, with the guys that you played with.
It feels like a little bit of haterade. It feels like they're always rooting for someone to lose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like,
yeah.
Dude, you had your perfect season. Like most people, when they get their records broken, they're gracious about it. They celebrate when there's no chance of their record being broken. It just feels kind of haterade-ish.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm fine with it. I wouldn't want anybody to break my record.
You don't want anyone to break your record?
Not a team record like that. An individual record? Not even. Yeah, I want to be the record holder.
I mean, I do too, but
I wouldn't come out and say it. But please
don't break my record.
But I guess they are coming out and saying it by celebrating.
By celebrating. That's the thing. This is my problem with it. They're celebrating someone else's loss. I know you can kind of look at it as they're celebrating their accomplishment, but their accomplishment was 40 fucking years ago, right? What they're really celebrating is the fact that this team lost.
Or that they're still the only undefeated team.
Right. Celebrating something. You don't celebrate something that happened 40 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
you weren't alive 40 years ago.
I'm not 40.
I don't celebrate my 8th birthday now that I'm 48. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems kind of silly to me.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. That's just me. You got anything else?
Nah, man.
You got a shout out?
Are we done with football? We're done with football? Okay.
I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
No,
I'll talk football all day with you if you want.
I don't have anything.
You don't have any more. That's it for you. You got a shout out?
Yeah, I do actually, man.
Excellent.
My shout out goes to, in football, when you're a running back, the life of a running back is 10 years, 10 seasons, right? As soon as you hit 30 years old,
no.
What do you mean, no?
It's less. It's considerably less than that.
Well, I mean, the average running back comes out at 20, 21. They play 10 seasons. They're 31 years old. I mean, it's
less than that.
Right at 30 is when things start to go downhill.
Right.
So if you're 36 years old, you're considered a grandfather. You're in football years as a running back, and you're old and gray and you can't run anymore. But Frank Gore has 15,000 yards rushing. Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, and Barry Sanders are the only other running backs in the history of the NFL with 15,000 yards or more rushing.
Wow.
This guy has 15,000. He's 36 years old. He's played 15 seasons.
That's amazing.
And he's still running, lowering his shoulder down, lowering his helmet down, and running really hard. Scoring touchdowns. He's played for the 49ers, for the Colts, and now the Bills, and he's played good, and the Dolphins. He's played pretty well considering his age here, after 30 years old. So what he's been doing is amazing. I think safe to say that we'll see him in the Hall of Fame one year.
Man, I hope so. I mean, that's a hell of an accomplishment. And he has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Was he the one that got his knee blown out in the championship game
Against the Saints?
No, I want to say in college.
Oh, in college.
Between Ohio State and Miami.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, because Clinton Portis didn't. No, Clinton Portis. No.
I'm gonna look
I
this
don't know.
up.
I don't remember. Could have been.
Well, it's not Frank Hoare.
No, it's not. That would be the wrong Frank.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I just don't.
But yeah, I mean that's just amazing, man.
It is
Frank,
incredible.
I mean, what he's done. I would like to know who's the next closest to that many yards actively.
Active?
I
Jeez.
mean, probably no one. Adrian Peterson, maybe.
Oh yeah.
He might be.
It's probably.
Yeah, because he's. I'm pretty sure he's got over 10,000.
I would say definitely.
Did you find it?
No, I can't.
You're slow.
Yes, I am.
Well,
Pro Football Reference.
I think
he's been playing since 2005.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, either way, if it was him or not.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy.
Who's your shout out?
I don't have one.
Okay, very well. Cool.
My shout out is to me for trying to fix my hot water heater.
There you go.
I thought I was quite impressive. I did a bang up job. I'm just a bean counter. I should get like a trophy, right?
Why?
Because I really tried.
No, there's no participation trophies.
I should get a participation trophy.
Kobe would not approve of that message.
I should get some kind of award. I'm a freaking bean counter, and I went up into the attic with no AC. No AC! And I worked on the hot water heater.
Did your wife make you do that?
No.
Okay, well, you went in there voluntarily.
I did it myself because I thought I could fix it.
Did you see they booed
Stupid ass
Kawhi?
couldn't.
Yeah? Did you see they booed Kawhi Leonard at the Rams game yesterday?
Oh, because he went to the wrong LA?
I guess so, yeah.
That's funny.
I've been watching tons of media day of the NBA.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You're a better man than I am. Okay, so he was from the University of Miami.
Yes.
He tore his ACL.
That might have been Clinton Portis.
Hold on, I'm still looking.
That might have been... I think that was Clinton Portis.
He did tear his he did have an ACL injury in college, but it wasn't the one I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Against Ohio State, where it like freaking bent in all different directions.
Right.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, as always, folks, thank you for listening. You can catch our podcast if you want to watch it. You can catch it on YouTube, or you can catch it on any of your podcast platforms like Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, yada, 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 yada. You can catch it in a variety of places. We appreciate your support. If you want to comment to the show, you can email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com is our email address. If you want to get a hold of this guy, how do they do that?
On Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1.
And if you want to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter as well, at eMontana21. As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.